full moon loomed heavy over the city skyline, casting long silver shadows down glass towers and across rain-slicked asphalt. The streets, gleaming with earlier rainfall, reflected neon signs like ghost lights on black water. From that silence emerged a black luxury sedan, sleek, silent, almost predatory in the way it moved. It glided to a perfect stop at a deserted curb, engine purring like a feline breath. Inside, a lone passenger sat in the back seat, young, nervous, dressed sharp but unsettled. In his hand, the screen of a phone glowed with ominous certainty. Red. Moonrider confirmed night howl mode enabled. The screen pulsed red, almost like it had a heartbeat of its own. He swallowed hard and leaned forward. "Can you turn the heat down?" The driver said nothing. What sat in the front seat resembled a human, but barely. The silhouette trembled ever so slightly. Shoulder blades rose and fell unevenly beneath a crisp uniform. From the rearview mirror, no face, just the shimmer of two golden reflections watching. Then a new sound entered the cabin. Low, deep, animal. A growl, so subtle it could almost be mistaken for engine noise, but it wasn't mechanical. It was alive. Feral. The man's app glitched. The screen flickered. A synthetic voice echoed softly, warped and broken. "Relax. Enjoy the ride." The driver's head twitched. The back of their neck began to bulge. Sinew twisting, stretching, skin too tight. A wet crack echoed. A jaw dislocated, splitting down the middle as fangs punched through pink tissue. Hair pushed through pores like wires tearing through fabric. The passenger tried to open the door, locked. Screams tore through the night. Blood sprayed the window from inside. Vivid, arterial, raw. The car jerked violently. Tires screamed against wet asphalt. Something clawed at the window from the inside, the glass warping under the pressure. A long claw dragged down, leaving a smear that pulsed under the moonlight. If you made it this far, you've already been marked. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell before your next ride comes with teeth. Let's begin. The city never slept, but lately it barely even blinked. In this neon-drenched metropolis where luxury was sold as tranquility, Howling Hertz had carved its niche in silence. Their latest viral feature, Night Howl Mode, promised midnight serenity in blacked-out premium sedans. No talking, no detours. Just scenic rides under the moon, wrapped in soft interior lighting, filtered moonlight playlists, and an algorithm that knows your soul. But beneath the surface code of this sleek app, something primal was written in blood. The rides weren't just curated, they were hunted. Behind the scenes, hidden within the company's algorithms, an invisible tag pulsed beneath certain profiles. Red Moon. It didn't appear on the user's end. It only signaled one thing. Target Lena Raven never trusted anything that moved too quietly. At 29, she bore the eyes of someone who had seen too much and refused to look away. Once a rising star in the police profiling division, Lena had resigned without warning after her brother Josh went missing. His last known location? A Howling Hertz ride. App records were clean. The car? Gone. The official report called it a data loss. Lena called it murder. She now worked alone, digging where no one else would. Dressed in black, hood up, eyes always scanning. She lived in the shadows of her city. Half investigator, half hunter. Her gear was unorthodox. A burner phone running a cracked version of the Howling Hertz app, a hidden silver blade sewn into her boot, scarred knuckles from fists slammed into too many locked doors. And tonight she was finally done chasing ghosts. She would become the bait. Lena had learned how the tagging system worked. Flags in the background metadata, DNA-linked, behavioral, ancestral. But she was no ordinary rider. She had rewritten her profile, embedding the Red Moon markers. She'd spoofed the code, injected just enough synthetic bloodline to turn the app's attention toward her. Tonight, she wasn't riding to relax. She was riding to provoke. Her first ride arrived minutes after the tag went live. A jet black luxury sedan with tinted windows. No logo, no plate. She stepped in, the door sealed with a muted click. The driver never looked back. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. The cabin was too quiet, not peaceful, predatory. The app lit up, Night howl mode activated. Enjoy the silence of the moon. But Lena didn't relax. Her hand stayed near her boot. She watched the driver's hands on the wheel, twitching slightly. She noticed the nails, longer than they should be. Too pointed, not quite human. The car drove past her designated stop. Then again. She tapped the end ride button. The app froze. Her screen filled with static for a moment. Then, one line flickered into view. "You smell like him." Her breath caught. The driver's neck tensed. Muscles rolled beneath skin like snakes. He shifted in his seat but didn't turn. Then suddenly, the car stopped. No warning, no brakes, just stillness. Then the app chirped, "Ride incomplete." Lena needed proof. Her paranoia wasn't enough. She convinced Micah, an old journalist friend with a taste for conspiracy, to spoof his own ride. He was cocky, thought it was just high-end exploitation. "Worst case, it's a scam. Best case, we go viral," he had said. She watched his ride from a rooftop, tracking the vehicle's signal. Then it turned off-road, into the industrial ruins, by the edge of the city. The feed went dark. The app glitched. Just like Josh's last ride. No response, no callback. Just a cold, endless silence. She found the wreckage hours later. Nothing but a phone shattered near claw marks. Deep ones, embedded in concrete. Not human. The GPS led her to a stretch of cracked asphalt. An old access road no longer listed. On city maps, there was blood. There were no remains. She held Micah's broken phone in her hand. The screen lit once more. "Thank you for riding with us. Your howl has been heard." She didn't cry. She didn't run. She whispered one word, barely audible over the rising wind. "Your turn." Lena went underground, literally. The phone Micah left behind had been rigged with a tracer, one of his many paranoid failsafes. It pinged off a dead network, buried under layers of encryption. She traced it, not to a corporate server, but to a decommissioned subway grid long forgotten beneath the city. With flashlight and silver blade in hand, Lena descended into the bowels of forgotten infrastructure. Steam pipes hissed, old advertisements peeled from tile walls. Her footsteps echoed, alone. Then she found it, a den. The stench hit first, earth, musk, and blood. Rusted signage hung over a sealed maintenance door marked in red claw-scrawled glyphs. Inside, a nesting ground. Vehicles, ripped apart and reassembled in warped, animalistic shapes, padded with fur and bones. Crates marked with the Hertz insignia. Screens lined the wall showing current rides in progress. Live feeds, riders unknowingly sitting inches away from death. A shrine rested in the center. Torn IDs, chewed license plates, broken phones, and her brother's badge. On the walls, old etchings, cave painting crude, showed moon phases, men turning to beasts, and bloodlines branching like roots. That's when it clicked. Red moons weren't random. They were marked because of who they were. Bloodlines, old ones. She wasn't just bait anymore. She was next. The city turned into a maze. Every street a trap. Every ride a potential coffin on wheels. They were onto her now. The next time she booked a ride, it came instantly. Too fast. The car door opened without prompt. She hesitated and got in. The driver's profile was blank. No face, no name. Just elite night howl operator, verified. The ride began smooth, almost gentle. Then the doors locked. The lights dimmed, and in the mirror, she saw it. His eyes glowing gold, reflecting her like prey. His hands gripped the steering wheel, nails extending, veins bulged, writhing like something inside wanted out. His neck convulsed, bones reshaping beneath skin. He twitched once, then again, before snarling through clenched teeth. "You carry the scent." She reached for her blade, too slow. He turned halfway, jaw cracked open, half transformed, and lunged through the seat. She kicked out the sunroof, crawled onto the roof of the moving car as he howled beneath her. Moonlight flashed as the city whipped by. She dove off just before the vehicle slammed into a barrier. The next ride wasn't better. She was dropped off in a graveyard. But the car didn't leave. It idled, watching. She turned slowly. In the mirror, no driver. Then the back door clicked open by itself. She ran, from alley to alley, through crowds and empty intersections, chased not by people but by silhouettes with claws and shifting bones. Each, ride a new predator in a black suit of chrome and leather, and always, always, the app whispered from her pocket. Silent rides, luxury vibes. Desperate, Lena made contact with someone inside. Kyle, a former Hertz driver turned whistleblower. They met in a crumbling parking structure beneath flickering lights. Kyle looked young, unassuming, until the moonlight hit him. One of his eyes shimmered amber. His veins pulsed strangely. He confessed everything. They call themselves the Luna Septum. Ancient, organized, predatory. The Rideshare app was just evolution. Civilization made them smarter. He showed her back-end access, routes, rider tags, transformation logs. She saw it all. The red moon filter, the feeding quotas, the lunar calendar overlays. And then he admitted the worst. I'm infected, didn't want to be, got bit during a ride. I'm resisting, for now. They had one chance. With Kyle's help, they traced the signal back to its root, one central cluster, a penthouse above the skyline. It belonged to the founder and CEO of Howling Hertz, Diane Vorst, centuries old, never seen in public. Her bloodline was the first to turn, the matriarch of wolves. That night, under a bleeding moon, Kyle lost control. Mid-sentence, his voice dropped an octave. His back arched. He clawed at his own arms. Get out! Lena, get out! His scream broke into a snarl. Bones cracked. His face lengthened. Eyes turned amber. She hesitated only a moment, then plunged her silver blade into his chest. He collapsed into her arms. Half man, half beast. She whispered, I'm sorry, and then she rose. Next stop, the top floor, and Diane. Lena prepared with cold precision. Her last ride would be her most dangerous. She didn't bother to fake her identity anymore. She logged into the app under her real name, with every red moon flag enabled, a blood-soaked signal flare. She uploaded Kyle's cracked code into the app, hijacked access to their lunar protocols, enough to override security, just once. Then she booked the ride. Night Howl Elite Ride confirmed driver, Diane V. Status, in transit, the address, Vorst Tower. A monolithic structure, black glass from top to bottom reflecting only the moon. The car arrived. It wasn't like the others. No logo, no registration, no headlights. Just a sleek, armored beast of a vehicle, rumbling low like it breathed. She climbed in. Diane Vorst sat in the driver's seat, ageless, elegant, and still. She wore a long coat made of something too dark to be leather and eyes that shimmered ancient gold in the rearview mirror. Welcome back, Red Moon. Her voice wasn't human. It was velvet and venom. The car began to move. They drove through the sleeping city. The GPS guided them toward an abandoned bridge tunnel, forgotten beneath new construction. The tunnel arced high, casting shadows like ribs over a throat. Above, the moon was full, direct, perfectly aligned overhead. Inside the tunnel, the car slowed, then stopped. I knew your brother, brave but messy. Diane turned to look back. Her eyes now glowed molten gold. Blood trickled from the corners like tears. Her jaw unhinged slightly as she whispered, Your family always ran toward the howl, didn't they? The transformation began slowly, elegant and horrific. Her skin rippled like disturbed water. Her spine arched, cracking with every shift. Her fingers lengthened into talons, one by one, as her face tore itself apart into something, both regal and monstrous. Fur burst through her clothes. The cabin warped with her size. The rearview mirror cracked as her snout grew past it. Lena was locked inside, a metal coffin filled with snarls and blood-stained leather. The air thickened with heat and the scent of musk and rot. The werewolf's breathing filled the car like thunder. Then came the full transformation, a wolf queen crowned in shadow and sinew. Her mouth opened too wide, and from it, she spoke, You will be my final blood moon. Lena didn't wait. She kicked out the side window, shards slicing into her arms as she crawled onto the hood. The metal groaned beneath her. Below her, Diane burst through the windshield, glass and fur flying as she ripped the steering wheel in half with a howl that shattered every bulb in the tunnel. Lena reached into her jacket, pulled free the custom device Micah built. A sleek obsidian-colored cylinder with silver-etched circuitry. Inside it, a blade, coated in silver, folded into the shape of a signal beacon. Lena pressed the trigger. The blade clicked into place. She leapt from the hood as Diane surged upward, fangs bared, claws raised, and plunged the blade straight into her heart. Diane's body convulsed. Light exploded from her chest, refracting in beams of silver and crimson. The werewolf screamed, not just in pain but in memory. In every voice of her bloodline howled through her. Ancestral pain, ancient rage. It all burst forth in a wave of supernatural force. Her body shattered, imploding under the moon's light, collapsing inward with a final cry that shattered every window in the district. Above them, the full moon flickered. Below, Lena stood alone in the smoking tunnel, breath ragged, blade scorched black. Silence followed. For the first time since her brother vanished, silence felt like peace. Weeks passed. The news ran stories about Diane Vorst's mysterious disappearance, about sudden system failures, vanishing user data, corrupted backups. Howling Hertz went dark. Their app vanished from all platforms. But the streets didn't feel safer, just quieter. Lena walked through a narrow alley one night, the city buzzing around her. A car slowed nearby, quiet, smooth. She didn't look at first, but then her old phone buzzed. Night Howl, available, full moon special. She smiled faintly, pulled back her jacket. The bite scars on her side were glowing, faintly red, pulsing, in time with her heartbeat. She whispered into the dark, "Some monsters can be killed. Others just change who's driving." Thank you for surviving the horrors of Howling Hertz. But remember, what you've witnessed tonight is just the beginning. The darkness you encountered here, it doesn't disappear. It only grows stronger. If this tale has unsettled you, if it made you question what you thought you knew about the world, you're not alone. We're all a little closer to the unknown now. So keep your eyes sharp, keep your trust close, and remember, the monster isn't always what you think it is. It might be right beside you, watching. The real nightmare might have only just begun. If you want to stay one step ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And whatever you do, don't forget to hit the notification bell. You'll want to know before the next one comes for you. And remember, you can watch more stories on our Ultimate Werewolf playlist. The link is in the description below. And as always, remember, fear seekers, in the world of horror, the scariest things happen when you least suspect them. And trust me, you don't want to be left in the dark. Welcome to the darkness.